On this week's episode, Manchester United's eventual crushing win over Wolves is dissected. There's a Real Madrid legend lurking in Cropper's transfer corner. We wonder if Kobbie Mainoo has reached the end of the line with Manchester United. And there's a look ahead to a potential debut of United youth star JJ Gabriel. All this and much more on Fergie's Gum, a Manchester United podcast. Hello and welcome to Fergie's Gum. My name is Nathan Irvine and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Paul Cropper, who seems to have a dog toy in his hands. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright. Someone's nicked me squidgy. The kids have nicked me squidgy, so I've nicked dog's bone to play with. So yeah, keep your hands going. Not me.
Anything that keeps them off yourself, that's absolutely fine.
Good morning.
It's a kid's show. There's plenty of places that we could start this podcast, but I think it's probably best to start it here.
Cunha's got Bruno Fernandes square. Fernandes loses his footing. Lovely turn from Fernandes. Gets the shot away and scores for Manchester United. Oh, Delow's going to give this to Brian and Mbeumo with the chance. Manchester United are back in front because Bruno Fernandes still got the ball. Into Mason Mount. Manchester United have a third. Fernandes, armband on, steps up and scores low left. An absolutely brilliant penalty from Manchester United's captain, Bruno Fernandes.
Manchester United 4, the worst team in the Premier League history 1, which was decent. So, but I mean, it looked a bit shaky to begin with in that opening 45 minutes, but Manchester United did come out on top, smashed up Wolves. Wolves looked dreadful, by the way. I know they was missing a few players, and I know João Gomez wasn't there in the centre of the park, but that was a team that I wouldn't even put them on any Sunday league match. I don't think they'd be up for it. There was errors all over the place. And the fact that Manchester United let them back into the game was quite the thing at the end of 45 minutes. But what did you think of it, mate?
Pretty much that, like you said, they were terrible, weren't they, Wolves, the first 20 minutes? I thought we should have been 4 up the first 20 minutes, half an hour. The chances were there. Dalot missed a chance. I think Cunha missed a chance. Ahmad, they all missed chances and didn't put it. It should have been done. In 20 minutes, there should have been no stress. Should have been able to keep the ball for the next 70 minutes and just play the game out. But once again, he invited pressure on, didn't kill them off. Lack of cutting edge in the first 20 minutes, half an hour. Lack of a striker, I think, once again, it's a pattern. To come back out in the second half and show the character they did, though, like you say it's the worst team in the Premier League. It probably, well, it is. Isn't it? They were that bad. But to come out in the second half and put in the performance that they did, once again, the second half was good, wasn't it? It was played some good football. I think a lot of players now are finding confidence in the system and in each other. The patterns between Bruno and Mount. I thought Mount was outstanding. Mount was brilliant. Some of his passing again. Mbeumo and Cunha had the best game that they've had in the past 3 or 4 weeks because I think they'd been poor, the pair of them, the past couple of weeks since Mbeumo got his Premier League, player of the month he got. I think he's dropped off a little bit there, but that was his best performance the past couple of weeks. But yeah, take it. Aiden Heaven as well. Where's that come from? Well,
yeah.
Just there you go. He's been nowhere. There you go. He got taken off at half time then in the West Ham game because he got a booking, but it was I thought it was a good performance. Like you say, just beat them. Get on with the next one.
Yeah. And I think that was the message from Ruben Amorim after the game as well. It was weird. He was kind of cruising the line of being disrespectful, but also factual when he was saying, we had the tools to beat them, or reminding the team at half time about the current situation that's going on at Wolves. That it was that type of wording. Basically, get out there and beat these bums because there's literally they've got nothing. So if you don't go out and do it, like I'm going to be furious. And you can imagine him, if they did lose that game, there would have been hell to pay, and his job would have been on the line, and the players would have just been, cowering again as usual. But as you say, there were some very good individual performances out of that performance. Overall performance, should I say. Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes are working well together, I thought. They're doing, they seem to have this, it's not telepathic, but they have this understanding. I think it started with the free kick at Palace where Bruno allegedly didn't actually tell Mason Mount what he was doing in the free kick. and Mount just had to react to it and scored. Great goal. And then there's obviously the run that he made for Bruno to play it into the box. Great finish, really, really nice goal as well. But like you said, Mason Mount had a fantastic game. That's 3 goals in 12 games now. Still no assists from Mason Mount, but I think that will come the more he plays. And I've said this before, and I don't know if you agree, but I think Mason Mount has to start. Whenever he's fit, I think he has to start. I think you have to find a place for him. Obviously, Mbumo's going away to AFCON, so he will get more minutes, but he has to start, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah, I think he's in the best 11 that we've got. Yeah, definitely. I think even if when Sesko does come back, I still think you've got to find a place for Mason Mount in the team, and that might be. I'm not sure who you'll miss out. Could you play him left wing back? Let him play there. I don't know. He's probably got the brain and the energy. It's taken away from his game, to be fair, because he is very good at arriving late in the box and scoring goals. You're looking at Mason Mount getting 10 goals a season, aren't you? From that position, and that'll be his target, and he's on course for that. So yeah, just hope he stays fit, because these players that get these little niggles, it knocks them back and it knocks the confidence. So, like Lisandro Martinez, just try and stay fit and manage them well and get them through this Christmas period instead of just overextending them and getting the knockback again.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good player, very good Premier League player, Mason Mount.
I think this is and it's quite a different, a little bit of a departure from what we're talking about here. But just because you was talking about the injuries, I think they are being managed better at Manchester United than they have been in the past. I think there was obviously issues with Terrell Malacia's injury, which is well documented, where he was looking after his own recuperation and his own rehabilitation, and it all went to pot for him. And it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time to get back into it. But you look at Luke Shaw and the fact that he's able to continuously play games full 90 minutes at the moment, and he's had lots of injuries and lots of problems. We've managed that well. Same with Mason Mount, it looks like, and it feels like it's a collective thing, not just the medical staff, but also Amorim choosing when to play these players and when to bring them on and the rest of it. Maybe he can't play 90 minutes. He only completed his first league 90 minutes, was it 2 weeks ago against Palace, I think it was. So he's only just completed his first 90 minutes for Manchester United since signing. But you would like to see him more, because I think he does have a direct impact on the game. Speaking of direct impacts on the game, and it's someone that we talk about every single week, obviously, because good or bad, he's always part of Manchester United's wins or losses. But Bruno Fernandes just showing his class again. 2 goals, 1 assist. He's got to be in that conversation about being one of our best signings ever, surely.
Yeah, of course he has. Yeah, he's I think I've gone on record saying we should have sold him, but where would we be without Bruno at the minute? It's we'd be struggling, even more so, won't we? He's the talisman. He's the best player we've got created.
I don't think you're the only person that said that, though. I think we've all leant towards him being sold. I think we've, especially with the start to the season, where we was thinking about this. We don't want Bruno to leave, but then he when we start the season, he's part of a dreadful team and he's not playing very well. And it's like, we could have had 120 million for him. So then you do start to have those doubts. Should have got rid of him. He's not good enough. He's not captain material, or this lot. But he just does things differently. And I think there's an underappreciation from all of us as fans for what he actually does. And, he's got that crackhead mentality where you just don't know what he's going to do next. And it's worrying. And it must be worrying for opposition players as well, because you don't know what he's going to do. He's going to loft it over the top to Mason Mount. He's going to shoot from distance. You just don't know what he's going to do. But I think that all combines for him to be a world-class player. He's played 15. He's got 4 goals and 6 assists already this season. Only player, I think I put this on the group last night, only player in the last 7 seasons, I think, that has had 10 GA goals and assists. So that's it. In the last 7 seasons, there's only Bruno Fernandes. There's no one else on that list. So he's. Yeah. I think. I don't think you should be hard on yourself saying that we wish that he probably moved on because you're not the only person. I've definitely said that as well.
He's it feels like if we're gonna score a goal, it's gonna come from something that Bruno does, doesn't it? That's literally what it feels like. He's our creative spark. He is now beginning to link up with Acuna and Bumo more, isn't it? The relationship's building there. And I noticed against Wolves, he was pressing against their six, so he was high. So it was like the four of them, Bumo, Acuna, Mount, and Bruno, with that was the front four, and then Casemiro was just like, "Hi guys, I'll just stay here. I'll just wait behind you while I clear everything up." But that front four, with Bruno being the main man created behind them, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And you will get goals. The thing is with Bruno, you get this with creative players and people that are trying to create goals and you give the ball away. It's just one of them things that these type of players do. They do give the ball away, but that's the risk reward that you're going to get from him. And so far throughout his career at United, he's getting more rewards. Yeah, brilliant player.
Exactly. He just needs the silverware to back it up now.
Well,
he needs the players around him. Just needs the players around him to be able to come up to his level. And
can you imagine Bruno behind someone like Ruben Van Nistelrooy, though? Can you imagine?
I mean, yeah,
how much that would terrorise everybody. Yeah, if we had a forward like that, what Bruno would do behind someone like that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? But these numbers he's putting out now, if you had someone like that.
Yeah, and he created. It was, stats can tell you anything, but he created 5 big chances as well against Wolves. So if you've got a striker that's able to finish those, that's the hope with Sesko, right? That's the hope that we've got with him. Xerxes ain't that guy. We'll talk more about him later, but it'll be Sesko that will be hopefully providing that. I've got a fun fact for you after that game at Wolves. Diogo Dalot has played one less Premier League game than 116 million Florian Wirtz. But his record is infinitely better, as he's got 1 goal and 2 assists to Wirtz's 0s in 14 games. I thought Dalot played okay.
It's passed a couple of games, actually, to be fair, giving his flat. I'm his biggest critic, Dalot, but he's...
No, I think Ahmad is.
Well, yeah, possibly, yeah. His running from deep and his effort, and I don't think we've ever questioned Dalot's effort, have we? It's more his ability and his tendency to switch off in important stages. But his power, he runs very, very. He's an athlete, and he does run.
Yeah.
And it's, if you don't let him think, he will produce things. Scored a goal, got an assist. You've got to give him his flowers where it's due. Just try and be consistent if you can.
And something consistent that I've been saying about Diogo Dalot is that he always seems to find himself in the right positions. It's just this decision making that lets him down. And I know that's like, oh, it's just his decision making. It's huge. It's a critical part of playing football, decision making. But he is, as you say, he's an athlete and he's capable of getting into those positions. If he can produce more like he did, like even the through ball from Bumo's goal, if he finished that shot in the first half, things like that, the marginal things that he needs to sort out, he could be a really, really important player for Manchester United. But the reason why we're so critical of him is because of these things. You watch him every week, he'll find space getting into that area, getting past the defenders, and he'll get himself one-on-one with defenders, and they hate it. But he often makes the wrong decision. And speaking of wrong decisions, Matthias Cunha passing to Bruno and almost messing that up. I don't know what he was thinking. Did he feel, for you, obviously watching the game, like for me, it felt like he was either A, trying to do too much because he was playing in front of his old fans, or B, didn't want to disrespect them by scoring against them. It just felt a bit odd.
Well, he had more shots than anybody else in the whole game. He had 1 cleared off the line. So he was obviously trying to score. It felt like, to me, like a confidence thing, because a confident Cunha would have just took that with his left foot and slotted it in, or he would have shot. So he's not had the best starts. He's not been underwhelming, because you can see how good he is. But I think the stats and the figures and the GA and all this, I think he probably would have expected more from himself. So he's probably putting pressure on himself. But Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? And he had a bit of one of those games where he could have got 2 or 3, but didn't. So it'll come with Cunha. Not worried about Cunha.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's particularly worried about where he will get to. It hasn't helped that he's been in and out of the team. Like,
Yeah.
When we got him, it was expected that he would be playing out on the left and it would be fine. But he's been injured. He had that concussion as well. Yeah, sorry, go on,
Been
mate.
pushed forward. He's been pushed forward as to be the main striker as well a couple of times and fill in there.
Yeah.
So that won't affect. He's not as comfortable there, is he, Nathan? Not as comfortable. But
He certainly doesn't seem it, but then he is playing there. Do you know what I mean? He is trying to do that, and he's trying to play that position. He's playing wherever he's asked to play. I think it was Ruben Amorim came out and said that him and a couple of players need to forget about the stats. They need to stop focusing on like getting a goal or getting an assist. It's all about the performance, and I think that's the right approach for it. It will come, as you say, and we both agree that it won't be a problem. 1 goal, 1 assist in the league, still more than Florian Wirtz, and he costs less than him. So you know,
is that the barometer?
It is.
Right.
It is. You got to take
like
it. I love the fact though, the social media, these accounts on social media, the ones that do like stats and things. I think it was TNT Sport. They said something like, "Oh, he's produced the most passes from deep" or something like that for Florian Wirtz. It's like you're inventing things to try and prove that he's a good player. That's just called passing. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. It was very strange. Obviously, since the last time we did a podcast, we played 2 games. We smashed up Wolves. And just touch very briefly on the West Ham game because that was a game that Manchester United should have won. It was another game where they capitulated at home in front of the fans. Didn't look anything like a top 4 side, European challenging side. They looked dreadful, to be honest. And it was probably, on balance, it was probably a fair result between the 2 clubs. But I just wanted to kind of ask about the post-match comments from Ruben Amorim again. Everything gets like under the microscope as soon as he goes in front of a camera. He was very combative when he came out because he knew that the question was coming about Kobbie Mainoo and why he didn't make it onto the pitch. What's your thoughts on that?
On the situation or his comments?
On the comments and the situation itself. We'll go more into the Kobbie situation later, but just in isolation, that game and the comments afterwards. Because for me,
Yeah,
I'll give you my idea. My idea was that he was expecting it and he was angry about it, and it feels like this might be the hill that he dies on.
Yeah, he knows what's coming, doesn't he? He knows what it feels like there's more to it with the Kobbie situation. I just touched on the West Ham game first because I thought it was poor. It's very similar to the Everton game where at home I'm not sure what's going on in the first half an hour, and then it just doesn't. We don't start in the right manner. I said you got to start in the right manner. It was poor, no creativity. I think that's the end of Xerxes. I don't think you'll see him in the starting lineup if I'm barring some terrible injuries. He wasn't the only one that was poor though, to be fair. And like you say, West Ham deserved the point. Yeah, wasn't great. I've got a few words there that I can't say on the podcast in my notes. But yeah, terrible. Move on to the next game. But it's going to be like that, isn't it? We've said that up and downs with this team, with this squad. The Amorim one, it's funny when I smiled when you mentioned about the press because it's in the mailbag about how Amorim handles the press. So probably go into it more there. He was on it straight away. He was on it and he was a bit naughty with it. And it felt like there's more to the situation with Kobbie that we're not being told. Whether he's not pulling his finger out in training, whether he's not doing what he's been asked of him in training. We don't know, but he can't really come out and say that because then you're going to lose Kobbie forever, aren't you? There's lots of links in Cropper's transfer corner with him moving away still, which there will be because he needs first team football. I don't think the likes of Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes are helping the situation at all. There's also rumours come out this week, I don't know if you saw it, about the squad not being happy with a class of 92 or any of the ex-players because of the things that they're coming out and saying. They don't talk to them. They don't want to be interviewed by them. These type of things. So the squad isn't actually happy with what the ex-players are saying. And it just puts more pressure on the manager. And I don't quite know if Ruben Amorim has got to grips yet with what the press is like at United. I don't think he quite understands that every word he says will be analysed, overanalysed. Every mistake he makes in translation will be taken literally. He overshares. He tries to be honest. You can't do that because they'll absolutely tear you to bits. And I think he's got that bit of naughtiness in him where he'll snap back, and then the press will be like, "Got him. We got him now," because that's what they want. They want that little clickbait. They want that little reaction from him. And Fergie was good at it, brilliant at shooting them down straight away, and they wouldn't come back. And he'd get out. You're not invited. He got that power. He's not quite got that respect of the press yet, Ruben Amorim. He's not earned it because the results haven't got him to where he wants to be. And they're playing a game with him, the press. You can see it. They're just little prods, and anything. If it wasn't Mainu, it'd be something else. But they're using Mainu as this to, we can get him here, we can get him. So what if Mainu isn't starting? He was good. He was playing well 2 years ago. He might not be good enough. Rashford was good enough 2 years ago. He might, if Mainu's not doing the right thing, stick to your guns. Say, no, he's not doing what I'm asking to do. He's not training, or whatever the issue is. Stick to your guns. And he is forget how young Mainu is. He shouldn't automatically be in the United team just because you're a youth product. No, you have to produce. And he's not, to be fair to him, he's not produced when he's come on. He's not had a lot of chances, to be fair, or minutes. But when he's come on, you're not like, oh, well, he should be starting. Should be starting every game, should he? So there's something going on there with Ruben Amorim. Don't let the press wind you up, mate. It would be my advice, because that's what they're trying to do.
I don't think he's going to escape that, though. I think there's obviously a media bias against Manchester United, because anytime anything that can be linked to Manchester United always does clicks and traffic. So that will never end. You know, previously in the last 30, 40 years, it was always to do with the newspaper sales. Manchester United would always be back page of the newspapers. Now it's all traffic and it's instant stuff that they can get and clip it up, take it out of context. I mean, we do that with our bloody podcast, for goodness sake. But we always link back to the main source so that you get the full picture of it. But I think you're right. It's something that he kind of needs to work on. And do you know what? It felt like after the press conference against Wolves, it really felt like he did get it. I know you were saying that he didn't understand it, or he didn't know how to work the press. That was the first post-match press conference where I looked at him and I thought he understands it now. Because he was all about, like, this game, it doesn't matter. It's on to the next one. We need to perform better in the next game, and that's it. Because if he'd have turned around and gone, "Oh, delighted with that. You know, I'm really, really happy that Bruno scored and Mason Mount played full 90 minutes and this and that." Like, if that's how he opened it with that game, they'd have been like, "See, small time mentality. He's happy just to beat Wolves, a team that they should have beat." But he came out and he was, like I said, verging on disrespectful of Wolves, talking about their current situation, 2 points in the whole season, haven't won a game all year, hadn't scored in 524 or 542 minutes. Can't remember what it was. But, you know, we gave him a little treat. Gave the fans something to cheer for.
That's easy doing coming off a win, though, isn't it? Sorry. That's easy to do after you've just won.
Exactly. And then but I think after the West Ham game, and, you know, he knows that question about Kobbie Mainoo's coming. The substitutions were all defensive. Let's not beat around the bush here, right? And that has to come into question. And there's a great question in the Gummers mailbag coming up about that as well. But you think about how he reacted in that game, after that game. He was angry. He probably knew he went a little step too far. And then in the Wolves game, he was like, very factual. Yeah, this, that, that's it. And he did praise a few of the players as well, but that's because he was asked about individual performances like Aiden Heaven and stuff. But, you know, he's keeping his head on. And I think that's the best thing that he can do moving forward. But anyway, let's have a little break here, and then we shall get into Cropper's transfer corner. Cropper's transfer corner. I just need to clip that up. I don't need to do any music. I just need to
just
make
walk
sure
kids up.
Good,
Small kids up with that.
good.
That's
It's
your
almost
new
school
alarm on
time.
a
They need
Wednesday
to be up.
morning. It's like that.
Um,
Wednesday morning,
before-
middle at night.
I know it is, mate. I appreciate you getting up this early to do this, and I'm sure the
Love
listeners
it,
do
love
as
it.
well. So, before we get into Cropper's transfer corner, I just wanted to start with something a little bit different. It's not quite a transfer, but it's news out of Manchester United this week about the cutbacks that have been made at the club. So another round of redundancies has been made. 140 scouts has now been reduced to 80 scouts, according to The Athletic, which means that they're focusing their efforts on countries or having people in countries that are more likely to produce top talents that Manchester United would buy. So rather than going to, I don't know, having someone based in Greenland, for example, in the Arctic Circle, they're making sure that they've got people that are in South America, where all these top people, top players seem to be coming from. They're making sure they've got more people in Europe as well. So I think it's more of a focused view on things. Pathways and Loans director Johnny Evans has stepped down. So he only lasted 6 months in that role, and he stepped down. He said he wants to spend more time with his family. But I think this is to do with the overall network and scouting, which is going to change dramatically next month, January, when Cal McCauley joins the club as I think he's head of scouting and networks. I don't know if that's his official title. I should have looked that up before. But the interesting thing about Kyle, and I don't know if you've read anything about him. He was obviously at Brighton. He was at Swansea with Graham Potter. They were at West Ham together. I think they started at the Swedish side, Olsenborg, wherever Potter was managing. And he's best mates with Chris, who I work on the radio show with on The Score. So had the inside scoop on a couple of things about him, previously about joining Manchester United. Obviously, it's a thing now, but before, obviously, I knew that he was going before it was announced in the press. But he was at Brighton, and he was part of that system that turned them into a talent finding machine. So, part of the system that is now built and running without him, but Estupinan, Caicedo, is it Alex McAllister? Yeah, all of those, all these players. Mitomo as well, I think, was another player.
Ben White was probably another one, wasn't it?
Yeah, so all of these, and even Danny Welbeck, getting a tune out of Danny Welbeck when a lot of teams didn't really fancy him. He's a talisman there now. So I think overall, and this filters back into Cropper's transfer corner, these players that we're talking about now and these ones that are linked with the club, they're going to go through far more stringent checks, personality checks, background checks. There's going to be data analytics that's linked to it. I'm talking like a whole kind of Moneyball approach to it. I don't know if you know the Moneyball movie, the book.
Yeah. Good film.
Exactly. So they're looking at metrics of how these players can play. So you might get someone that you'd be like, who's this guy? Why is he coming in? But in terms of a system, he'll have a specific attribute which contributes massively to it. So just bear that in mind now when we're looking at these players. And I think things will change from January as well. So a lot of these players that are on this list.
What you're saying is he's a gummer, isn't he? Oh, friend.
He's a gummer.
He's a gummer.
Of course he is.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, new scouts are coming. That's what we're having. Yeah. That's what I got from that anyway. Yeah,
that is fair. We'll take it.
It is. Yeah. The main ones, and I've tried to do it in order of ones that are probably serious and ones that are a little bit more a bit wishy-washy, the stories. But yeah, it's a new midfielder is what we're after by the looks of it. Mick Brown has confirmed Man United's interest in Anderson, but also Semenyo. He's estimated 170 million we needed to secure both players. Semenyo is the one they've been looking at. He says United need to spend in January to improve the squad, and he's somebody they wanted to bring in during the summer before he signed that contract. If the opportunity comes up when the window opens, it would make a lot of sense because he would be able to plug that hole left by Mbeumo. Great signing that'd be, wouldn't it? That's Semenyo. That Anderson and Semenyo are the top targets.
And how much was he quoting there?
170 million for the both of them.
is lost his mind because it was released the other day that Anderson is. You mean Ederson? Oh, Anderson. Sorry, I
Yes.
thought you meant Ederson from Atlanta.
No,
There's too many
no.
sons
No,
in
no.
this. Too many sons. Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Semenyo his release clause is what, 50 million? Less than
It's
that?
it's the first half of the January, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's 60 plus a 5 million add-ons, isn't it?
Right.
That's what it
Okay.
is in the first half of the winter, and then it drops down in the summer. But yeah, so that's only active for the first 2 weeks of the transfer window.
Okay.
So you want somebody's going to snap him up in January, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you think either of those two will be at Old Trafford in January, by the end of January?
I don't think the Anderson one will happen till the summer if he doesn't go to City. I think the Semenyo one is doable. Yeah, I do see that one happening. Unfortunately, I'd say unfortunate. I think there'll be a queue for him. I think everybody in the Premier League would want him. Arsenal, I think Liverpool would want him. Maybe not Chelsea because they've got about 65,000 wingers, haven't they? But I do think that even in Europe, people will be looking at him at that price and they'll be going, wow, can we get him? You get an £100 million player for nearly half price, Nathan. Why would you not? The thing is about the Semenyo one, we had links, didn't we? This is what makes me more confident is there are rumours that Ruben Amorim actually went out for a meal with him as well before we signed Mbeumo. So whether something was said, look, we're going to come for you again in January or in the summer. I'm hoping because if you put him into that United team, imagine him with that Gallo chance. Imagine him in that situation where he's there. He's terrible, and what he is, he's frightening. His pace and power is just terrifying, and that's what we need. It's that power and that ruthlessness what we're actually missing. It's literally what we're missing. That it's if you add him into that team for that price, I think you have to do it. You really have to do it. But we'll see. Big Q there, Nathan. Big Q. Anderson one for me. What happened in Jan? Summer. Yeah.
Do you think they will sign? Well, have you got any other midfielders on that list?
Belieber is the other one.
Okay.
Belieber.
Before we go into the Belieber thing, then, do you think Manchester United will sign a midfielder this winter transfer window?
I do. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it would be Belieber or Anderson. I think it'll be João Gomez.
I think it'll be João Gomez or Ederson because that's who I thought you said at the beginning. But I think those are the two for me, and I don't think they're necessarily stopgaps. I think they'll be part of a bigger squad that can challenge on all fronts next season. So I think they cannot, if they want to back Ruben Amorim, and I said this in the newsletter on Substack, which you can find at fergiesgunpodcast.com. I said this before, if they're serious about Ruben Amorim and about the fact that he is the man to take Manchester United forward with this formation, with this style of play, they need to back him in January. We've got an opportunity to break into the top four, got an opportunity to galvanise our place in the European spots. But it could all fall apart very quickly if they don't do anything about it. I think they have to spend in the January transfer window to try and maintain that.
Yep. Yeah, no, I go along with that. If you've got any aspirations of getting into Europe, you have to go again. And you have to. It's been shown by Premier League teams again. If you don't go in January, everybody else does, and you drop off and you miss out.
Yeah.
So
very true.
You have to back it. Yeah. The Belieber one is looking about. It seems like Brighton have said, oh, we'll accept 85 million now if you like him. Yeah. Please, because he's not playing, is he? He's not playing. But there's also rumours because the price has dropped down now. Bayern Munich also are interested. They're looking at Belieber's long-term replacement for Goretzka, whose future remains uncertain. So that was always going to happen with that type of player. Bayern Munich have got a record of coming in and taking good Premier League talent, Elise, Kane, obviously, and putting them straight into there and making them into worldies. So that doesn't surprise me that Bayern Munich. I've said it a number of times, probably one of the best run clubs in the world, Bayern Munich. So yeah, don't surprise me. But Belieber, Anderson, like we said, Wharton, I don't see any of them happening in January. Nathan, not for me.
I think the Belieber one is going to be interesting, and like you said, they'll accept 80 million for him now. Yeah, I bet they will because he hasn't completed 90 minutes in the Premier League this season, apart from against Leeds United, and that's it. Like, he gets dragged off all the time, and he's been turning in like six out of 10 performances. And again, we've talked about this many a time. Has his head gone? Is that a good sign for a future Manchester United player? Would he pass the background checks on mentality to be able to drag this team forward? I don't know.
I'll tell you what, it won't be going unnoticed. That's what it won't be going, will it? United will be looking and going, oh, wow. Unless he's just really just gone, no, I'm off. I'm going. Yeah, my bag's already packed there. I'm going. Get me back, we're going. A couple of unknowns I've got here now, Nathan, which is always nice because people can go and have a look at him. United are not alone in their interest in Bouadi. He's a French midfield star. Ayoub Bouadi of League One outfit Lille. Interest from Foot Mercato, looks like. The French side have placed a 60 million price tag on the player. Go and have a look at him. Looks like a good talent from the French league. 60 million euros. These are the type of figures you go, they're not going to happen in January, them type of sign. I don't see the club paying 60 million for an unknown. You know what, you mentioned the Moneyball thing. You're looking at them type of players, would be the kids that are coming in for 10, 15 million, and then you're looking at them being worth 60 million. I don't see United doing that kind of thing. But someone to go out and have a look at.
But that lad, he's been linked with United for a long time. Because I know Academy Scoop on Twitter, who does a lot of stuff for like Manchester United. He's been tracking him for a long time. Obviously, I think he played together with Lenny Yoro, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, probably,
yeah. And I think they have a very good relationship together as well. So he's been talking very highly of him. I cannot claim to know anything about this lad and whether he's a good fit for Manchester United, whether he's a good player. But as you say, he's one that you can go and look for his highlight reels. But he has been talked highly of. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So let's see how that one pans
Arsenal,
out.
PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Inter Milan, they're all interested. So it'll be one of those where you think, oh, can we get him? But nobody's going to pay 60 million euros unless he's going to be starting. 365 scores. They're reporting United on alert for Anderlecht's Ecuadorian forward Nilson Angulo. 22-year-old has 4 goals and 8 assists this season, with over half a dozen scouts reportedly watching him closely. So that's another one to go and have a look at. They're the type of players that can come in. Do you remember like when we signed Chicharito? And you're like, where's this lad come from? And he does score goals. These type of signings are what you need, along with a £100 million Anderson or Belieber. You need these signings in your squad. You need to do. They can't just go and have superstar. Every player's 100 million. You need these players that just come in from the unknown. Oh, he's a decent enough Premier League player, because that's how you build a squad. It's it, Nathan.
Yeah.
So another one to go and have a look at.
Would you have said, though, back in the day when we got Manuel Ugarte, that he was a starter, or like you just described there, someone to build out the squad?
I thought Ugarte was going to be one of the best defensive midfielders in Premier League. How wrong was I? Yeah,
I think we all did,
I'm
mate.
so disappointed in Ugarte and how that's worked out. I think he'll be gone in January. Yeah, my opinion.
I hope he's gone in January. He's been awful.
Yeah. So as I said, I filtered out a few stories that seemed a bit iffy. The next one is a name that we've been linked with a few years ago. Now, Manchester United reported pushing hard. This is 365 scores to bring in Sergio Ramos to Old Trafford this January. Ramos has already said his goodbyes to Monterrey, and he's free to sign for another club.
Absolutely not. That is mischief making from whoever that reporter is. Yeah, no chance.
Okay.
No chance.
Move
Because
swiftly on.
as we talked about before, in after the Wolves game, Aiden Heaven has now come into the side and he's doing great. And we got Lisandro Martinez coming back from injury. Harry Maguire's yet to come back. De Ligt as well. You don't want to put Sergio Ramos in there, massive salary, into Manchester United ahead of any of those players, because that's just crackers. It's not happening. Anyway, move on. That was not happening.
Move on.
Whoever that person is that reported on that, hang your head in shame. Disgraceful.
Yeah. It might have been his agent. Speaking of agents, and somebody that might be struggling this morning or for the past couple of days, and it's a striker we've talked about, is Ivan Toney. £40 million is the rumour that he's available in January to come back to the Premier League. Now, after I don't know if you saw the reports at the weekend of him landing a nut on somebody in a nightclub, was it? Yeah. And United's policy of a no, how can you say it without swearing? No idiots policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that actual rule comes from the All Blacks. Like that was their mantra for so long. So that's where that came from. It might have seemed like a weird phrase to use, like no D heads, but that's what the All Blacks always wanted. But yeah,
I'm all for it.
Bear in mind, even Tony apparently headbutted a guy that was just asking for a selfie. Yeah, he's probably not going to be the type of thing. You don't want a Manchester United player being that type of, loose cannon. So I don't think that one's going to happen either.
Oh, do you?
No,
do we want that type of character? No, it's just another one to stir up the pot for no reason, and you don't need to do it, do you? No.
Well, he might be playing for he might be playing for Prison FC if things go wrong. So you never know. But he's back in Saudi Arabia, and there's been rumours about him moving back to the Premier League for ages. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. He'd be a great signing for Manchester United in terms of what he brings to the team, but you don't want that baggage. The gambling, headbutting, like fans. Come on,
it's not a good look, is it? Not a good look.
And
the 400 grand a week that he demand,
of course.
It was one I was all for, but you can't. We just don't need that at the club, do we? Where we are at the minute. The next one is an interesting one from your side of the world as well, Nathan. Another place who was at Wolves in the Premier League, and I wouldn't be poo-pooing this one straight away, but Ruben Neves, £12 million is what they're looking at. Premier League proven, obviously might be a little bit past his best, but 32-year-old. Not sure that that's a terrible signing at that price. Would command a lot of money, but would slot into that United team, wouldn't he?
He's only 28, mate. He's only 28.
Ruben Neves? Is he really?
Yeah.
Do it. Get him in then. I'm checking that. I'm checking that out. Is that
Check it out, mate?
Because I know we know he was brilliant, wasn't he, in the Premier League, Ruben Neves?
Yeah.
I thought he was absolutely superb. Yeah. And that is something. 28-year-old. No, spring chicken, isn't he? Get him in. I think that's a great signing. Maybe he's fed up. He will be on a lot of money, a lot of salary, but at £12 million is what he's asking fee. I'm all for that.
I think. Do you know you made quite an interesting point there about the players coming from Saudi and expecting like a big salary. I think they will be under no illusions that if they were to come back to the Premier League, they would be on half of what they're currently on in Saudi.
Agreed.
I think they knew that when they was moving out there to the SPL that they would get in the bag, and if they did want to come back, it was going to be on the terms of the Premier League clubs, not, oh yeah, you've just been on 400 grand a week. Yeah, we'll put you on 400 here as well. No chance. Not a chance.
I agree.
Ruben Neves is an interesting one though. I would definitely take him. I just don't know. The Saudis will go big again in January or whenever their transfer window opens, because they need to maintain that their league is, eye-catching. They can't just have Ronaldo there. They need to make sure that they've got these players coming through. So, I don't know. Ruben Neves is a very, very good player. I just don't think he'd be the type of player that United would be looking at. They would want someone that has been doing it
recently
in the Premier League. Yeah, and in the Premier League.
Oh,
yeah.
I get that.
Recently.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, interesting one. Yeah, keep an eye on that one. More outs now, unless you've got any more ins there, Nathan, yourself. I got a couple of outs.
No, the only outs that I have, and I was just gonna chip in with it. We'll do Joshua Zirkzee to Roma, where they either want it as a loan or they want it as a full sale. I think that's Man United that are asking for that. They want a loan to buy, or they want to sell him 100%. So I don't know how that one will pan out. I like Zirkzee, but he's got no one to learn off at Manchester United right now, and I think that's what's lacking. I think he's very good at linking play. I think he'd be very good playing behind a main striker, but I just don't see he's not consistent enough, and I think that's probably something that we all agree on. He's just not consistent enough with it.
His cutting
We'll
edge
do
isn't there, is it?
exactly. We'll do the. I didn't think he had a terrible game against West Ham. I just thought he just didn't do enough. Um, I would. We'll do the rest of your outs, and then we'll come back to the main one, who we've already touched on previously.
Well, that was obviously one of them. So I'll do the other one, and then we'll do that one. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's another obvious one, but the story I was like, oh wow, that's come from nowhere. It's Football Insider. Keith Wyness, is that the right word? PSG could allow Bradley Barcola to move to Old Trafford as part of an agreement with Manchester United for Rashford. I touched on this last week where PSG were interested and willing to pay 40 million, which is more than what Barcelona, I think it's 25-30 million euros at the agreement they've got. He's obviously a lot younger, 23, and this is what Keith Wyness has said. And if they were to get Rashford and a player swap, I think that would suit United more than releasing him at a pretty low level, which Barcelona have got, which is about 30 million he's put in there, yes. So apparently PSG are willing to allow Bradley Barcola to leave to bring in Rashford. I'm not sure that that's something that they'd be willing to do. Barcola's brilliant.
Not a chance. That is what we're talking there is that's probably D, E, maybe even down to the N's and O's and P's of tier ranking for football knowledge. Transfer insider stuff. I'm not having it.
He's Wyness. Get in the bin. He's not having him.
Not
He's not having you.
Not a chance. If he's not, you look at the top ones. If it's Ornstein, then you know it's on. Just below him is Romano, because Romano's is a tap-in merchant. If you look closely at what's been said and what hasn't, he's connected. I get it. He's built a really good empire. But Ornstein's
then it's Cropper's transfer window. Then
it's Cropper's transfer corner. You even forgot the name of your own part of the show.
I did. Yeah.
And then anything below that is
Keith Wyness.
You just don't know. Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Interesting.
Name
It's an interesting story. Yeah.
It is, but I can't see Barcola being used in any kind of make weight with Marcus Rashford. No chance.
I agree.
Not a chance.
I agree. The last one which I got, which is what we're going to discuss, was the main man. So I'll hand it over to you there. Go on. Or do you want me to put the rumour out there what it is, or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, according to Team Talk, Bayern Munich have upped their interest in Kobe Mainoo, whom they are ready to pay 50 million in January. Napoli are also very keen on the move for 20-year-old, with a loan plus an option to buy, being readied by the Serie A champions.
Roma are also apparently linked to Kobe Mainoo as well. So
yeah,
it feels like his career's over at Manchester United. I wrote about this on the newsletter. There's only going to be one winner between Ruben Amorim and Kobe Mainoo. The things that don't work in his favour, Mainoo's favour, is that when he has been on the pitch and he has been given a chance, he hasn't done enough. Now, some people might say it's unfair because he hasn't been given enough minutes, but you have to do what you can do. You can't play tidy football, as I said to you before, and expect to be then in the team the following week. You have to do something. You have to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and you have to try and get your team into the win column. Amorim doesn't fancy him 100%. That's as simple as it is. He does not fit his system, so he doesn't want him in his team. That's it. You can't argue with that. It's plain to see. He's only trusted to come on to, like, in the last few minutes of games, to give him minutes. It's not he's coming on to do a job. He's coming on to give him minutes. Didn't come on the pitch against West Ham. Came on against Wolves for, what was it in total? I think it was 78th minute he came on, and he ended up playing until 96th, 97th minute. So it was over 20 minutes. Didn't really do anything. Just kept the ball. That was it. And he's not signed this new contract at Manchester United because apparently he wanted a huge amount of money off the back of his very good campaign that he had, which he ended up playing in the Euro finals for England. I can only see it going one way. I think he leaves in January. I do.
Do you
I don't
really?
think it'll be. Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be on a permanent basis, but I think he does need to leave as well to try and get minutes and to try and get his career back on path. And I know they said, I know you was talking about it before, that they don't appreciate the class of '92 talking in the way that they do. But when you talk about Kobbie Mainoo, and we said this before, Nicky Butt said it, or Paul Scholes, it was one or the other. If Kobbie Mainoo was playing for Crystal Palace now, Man United would be in for him. They'd be trying to get him. Same player, same profile, doing the same things. If he was playing for another team, a Brighton, a Crystal Palace, someone like that, Manchester United would be in for him. But something's happened there, and I think it's more personal than what's being let on. That's my
Okay.
theory about it anyway.
So you think a little bit like a Pogba and Mourinho situation? That's what you're thinking? That kind of thing?
I don't think they've fallen out, as in like it's clash of personalities. I think there's a constant need for Ruben Amorim to see Kobbie Mainoo doing the things that he wants him to do on the football pitch. Then he's also got the other stumbling block, or it might as well be a 30-foot wall. Bruno Fernandes never gets injured, and he's the person that he's supposed to be challenging for a position for. All of this may change during AFCON when players go away and then there's more opportunities for fringe players to come in. But if I'm Kobbie Mainoo, and as much as this pains me, I'd be trying to get out of there 100%. I just don't think, if my boss doesn't rate me, let me go and try and do something somewhere else.
Yeah. I see it a couple of ways. There's a few things probably that we're not forgetting, because you've just mentioned the contracts. I think will be a big issue, because you're not getting that contract that you've asked for. That'll be a big stumbling block, and his agent will be in his ear. No, whether we like that or not, that's just the way the world works now in football. I think we all might be forgetting that he's 20-year-old. I said it earlier. What gives you the right to think you should be starting at Manchester United when you're 20? No matter how good you are, it doesn't matter. You're still 20-year-old. You're still learning your game. You're still learning your trade. Be patient. What's the rush to be starting at Manchester United? You're not getting Bruno Fernandes out of the team. No, there's not many people in Europe could come in to Old Trafford now and get Bruno Fernandes out of the team. All right, you've got Casemiro there, whose legs aren't quite up to it. But Kobbie Mainoo isn't Casemiro. He's not that type of player. He's not going to play in that position. I hope the club are saying to Kobbie Mainoo, look, we understand you need time, you need game time, which he does. Go out in January for 6 months, come back in the summer, when we've got this midfielder alongside you who will do the work that we know that you can't do because you're not that type of player. If we went and got an Anderson or a Believer, and you put them in that centre midfield, and then you put Mainoo at the side of it, that's a very, very good midfield. I don't feel that if you put Mainoo alongside Casemiro, it doesn't work. We've seen it doesn't work, haven't we? We know that even Ugarte in there doesn't work. So I don't like this thing of, oh, maybe that'll unlock them but Mainoo's not defensively disciplined enough. He's not that type of six that will sit in there and do what we need at the minute. This team doesn't need a Kobbie Mainoo. It doesn't. It needs a 20-year-old Casemiro. It needs somebody in there who's going to sit. Fortunately for Kobbie, we've got, like you say, Bruno there who's playing that position. But Bruno will need a bit of a rest here and there, but it's not good enough for Mainoo. He needs to be starting games in the Premier League. He needs to be starting games. So I don't want him to leave on a permanent deal. I really don't want to see that. But I don't see the rush in, it's either you starting for United or you're gone. No, send him out on loan. Let him have 6 months at a Brighton. At say, maybe a Palace, a team like that, which Mainoo would start in them for them teams. Let him do that for 6 months and then come back and reevaluate. Don't just kick him out the door for 50 million. It's nothing. Kobbie Mainoo is a £100 million midfielder. Unfortunately, this United system structure doesn't need him at the minute.
So if I'm playing devil's advocate now, the system or Kobbie staying, which gets changed?
You've got to stick with the manager, whatever the manager does. Just be patient, because he will fit in this system. in the summer when we buy somebody else alongside him?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think more than anything, I don't think Kobbie Mainoo's expecting to start. I think he's more like, I need more minutes. And how do you get more minutes? By going elsewhere, because he knows that he's not going to get past Bruno Fernandes. It's not that he doesn't understand that Bruno doesn't get injured. I'm sure he has a great relationship with Bruno as well. But at the end of the day, if you can't shift the immovable object, even injury doesn't keep him out of the team. Do you know what I mean? If you can't get him out of the side, then I think for your own career, you probably do have to move on. Probably do have
He's
to
20
move
though,
on.
Nate. He's 20,
I
isn't
know.
he?
I know.
But
But he wants to play in the World Cup. He wants to play in the World Cup. So
no, I get that.
I mean,
6-month loan sorts everything out for me.
yeah, but then it also creates another problem of who replaces him when he goes away. Someone
Yes,
that's going
it
to be on
does.
a higher salary.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Up next for Manchester United, it is another game at Old Trafford, which hasn't been a happy hunting ground for the team, which is very strange to say. It is Bournemouth, the visiting team, on Monday the 16th, 8 p.m. UK time, midnight here in Dubai. And I can tell you right now, I will not be staying up for that. I will be recording it and watching it on the morrow, as they say. Much bigger test than Wolves, this one. Bournemouth not in great form right now, and Semenyo brilliantly not in good form right now. 13th in the Premier League. Iriola kind of struggling at the moment. Can United get the win?
No, you've no idea, have we? We have no idea. Every time we say we should be winning a home game, they turn in a performance like the Everton game or the West Ham game. So we don't know. It's another one of them, like we said, on that run of games. You should be winning these, but let's see how we start. We just have to take it as it comes with this United squad. I'm hopeful for a win. Can't guarantee anything.
The big question that I was going to ask you then, and you kind of answered it right at the beginning, do we play another false nine in Cunha, or do we go with a striker in Joshua Zirkzee for this game?
I don't think Zirkzee. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I don't think Zirkzee will start. I don't think he's fancy.
You didn't say it a couple of weeks ago. You just said it about 5 seconds ago, and I forgot that you don't.
Yeah. He's done. I think Zirkzee might be done, pal. I do. I think he's on his way out. I think they've seen enough. The manager, etc., and they're like, no, there's better options here, and I think they're probably right. Unfortunately for Joshua, I don't think he starts. I think he goes with the same team. Wolves, Mount in there, Cunha up top. The link up plays there. The relationships is there, and it's something you need to build, and you don't just change it because it's working. So yeah, stick with it. I say it's working. Let's see how we go on. But Mason Mount can't come out for Zirkzee.
There could be some changes that are enforced into the team because we still haven't had confirmation whether or not the AFCON representatives are going to be available for the game at Bournemouth. There were some rumours that possibly Mbeumo might stay and Ahmad might stay, but then there was another rumour that said Mazraoui might be told to leave before then, or needed to sign up before then, join up with the squad. So that might be something, that right-hand side could be decimated for the Bournemouth game. If it was the case and we lost right centre-back, right wing-back and right attacking midfield, who are you putting into those positions?
Oh, you're looking at Dalot going to the right wing back position. I think Ahmad said it last week. It's there. You can see what's already there. Yoro coming in there as well. Having Martinez back, just love seeing him in a United shirt. Just love to see him on the ball. When he came on the other day, and he just straight away points, doesn't it? You do that, and you can see he's one of the bosses in that changing room. And
yeah,
I love him. Absolutely love him. One of my favourite United players. To have him back for this period now, because it's an opportunity for him to get into the starting team. And once he's in this starting 11, you're not getting Lisandro Martinez out bar injury. So touch wood, that doesn't happen. I think Martinez probably won't come in there. But that right hand side, Mason Mount will probably go onto the right hand side there, won't he? He's slotting there nicely.
As the attacking
10.
player.
Yeah,
Okay.
as the attacking player, yeah. He's also the manager. Shea Lacey has also been on the bench a few times. I know he mentioned him in the press conference where he snapped back about Maynard, where they said there's no forwards on the bench. And someone said, what about Shea Lacey? And he was a bit like, really? You want me to throw this kid in there when we're playing like this? And I thought that was a fair assessment. You can't just throw Shea Lacey in there, but he is an option to bring off the bench. You know, if we are comfortable, that's when you need to be bringing him on. Bruno, as moving forward, again, is another option. And then you can give Mainu a few more minutes just to see how he reacts, where his head's at, if he actually tries or bothers. Because that'll be a telling thing, Nathan. If he does start a game, Mainu, where his head is at, whether he's got a foot out the door, you'll know immediately in the first 5-10 minutes, won't you? So, I think the options are all there, ready for the manager. I think it's quite a thick squad that we've got. Whether the quality's there, we've got the numbers and got the players to cover it.
I think the players on the bench can cover those positions, but then I think the bench becomes wafer thin after that. So, like, if he's not going to play someone like Shea Lacey, and he's just going to fill the bench up with lads that he's hoping don't have to come on in 90 minutes, that's a terrible thing. I mean, it's not like even the FA Cup third round draw was done the other day, wasn't it? We got Brighton at home, so it's not even like you can give those young boys a tune up against someone like Exeter, or one of these teams where they can just have like a home game where they can just bed in. You can't do it because now you need to win a trophy.
Sorry, on that, just to interrupt you then, I did read something. I would have to double check it, and maybe some of the Gunners can. I believe JJ Gabriel is eligible to play in the FA Cup. Now, I know he played through the under 18s last night, then he at Old Trafford and scored the only goal. I watched I got on my little one, but I watched the last 20 minutes of that last night. There's some talent in that team, Nathan, I tell you. And JJ Gabriel, he's an absolute gem, that kid, at 15-year-old. And he's took his goal well again, and he's scoring 2-3 goals, creating goals. He's no wonder everybody in Europe wants that kid. But yeah, last night I thought he got brought off 88th minute, and the fans that were there got a really good round of applause. So yeah, that's something, because like I said, in the FA Cup, he's eligible because he can't play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that's another option there, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what do you think the score will be against Bournemouth then?
2-1. I'll go for 2-1, Nathan.
For United?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to remain optimistic at Old Trafford and say 2-2. Another Desmond.
Yeah. He loves a 2-2 draw. I'm sure you have it on your keeper, don't you? Score draw.
I do love a 2-2 draw. We haven't kept a clean sheet in ages, mate.
No.
It's a clean sheet. So anyway, who's your pick for FPM? Did you have Bruno this week?
No, I had Cunha. I am going to say Bruno. It's got to be Bruno, isn't it? You can't leave him out. Is he top scoring midfielder in the FPL?
He is.
Is that right?
Yeah. He is, yeah. I think I'd go with Bruno as well. He's got to be because he plays all the time, and he'll get you something. He'll get you something. Right, pop it open. Get the zip off. Get the Gummers mailbag open, mate.
Get the Gummers mailbag open. The one I've got, we kind of touched on it earlier, didn't we? It's from Dave. All right, Dave. What are your thoughts on how Amorim handles the press? So we did touch on it earlier, didn't we? So
we did touch on it earlier, but it's worth recapping just to say that he, for good or bad, he wears his heart on his sleeve when he's dealing with the press. Right. So for fans, we want the honesty and we appreciate it. But at the same time, the press want that honesty as well, so they can twist it into something that it isn't. And it's rage bait. It's rage bait. He might say something in a very specific way, but when it's clipped up and the quotes are flying around and you only see part of it on Twitter with zero context, it's like, I'm angry with Amorim again. And I want him out. And that's exactly what it does. That's what they want to see. They want their quote to be appropriated and to go viral across social media because that's what helps them. But in terms of the way that he deals with the press, as I said before, after the Wolves game, I think he had it spot on. I think after the win, it was fine to use that opportunity to just be really deadpan about things and just be like straight back every question. Yeah, this was good, but we should have won the game anyway. On to the next one, type of thing. So I think he's getting. I was going to say he's getting better. He's not getting better, but I think he's becoming more aware of when he's being baited, and that will hopefully see him through to the end of the season at least.
Yeah, I can't disagree, Dave. I think I said it earlier there, where he's learning into on the job about the press and how big it is and what they're like and how they will reel him in just to throw him under the bus and just they just want him to snap, and you can't be that emotional in front. You can't be emotional. I mean, I know he is an emotional person. You can see that in him, the way he loses, the way he is on the side, and he's not afraid to show his emotion. Unfortunately, I don't think in that press room is the right place to do it. And he probably someone might have had a little word with him after the West Ham game and said, look, they're trying to get a reaction from you, especially with the Cobby situation. Because like I said earlier, if it's not that, there'll be something else to be looking at. Why are you not playing Shea Lacey? Like, what a stupid thing to say from somebody who's been invited into that press room who comes out with it. Why are you not playing Shea Lacey? What? Yeah, it's not the right time to throw. And that was Ruben Amorim's reaction. What? Who's let him in? Get out. But yeah, he's not got the right power yet, has he, to over the press, because he's not. He's not.
I
Really
don't think he ever
like
will.
we said
I
earlier.
don't.
No, he
I
won't.
don't think he ever will.
Yeah, it's a respect thing, isn't it? It's about because certain press people, especially like I said, with Ergie, they wouldn't dare press him, would they? Because they know I'm not getting back in here for another 2 years. He'll just ban me. But yeah, it's just the British press. It's not something that on the continent, apart from Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're not used to it because it's so big, isn't it? Especially United. It's all big news, like you say. So he's learning on the job, and we'll see if he gets to grips with it. But just being less honest, Ruben, I think is the right way to go.
Or just being direct and get
Yeah,
through the facts
yeah,
and then just move on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got a question here from John on Instagram, and we kind of spoke about it before. Is JJ Gabriel going to make his debut in the first team this season? He scored, as we just talked about, he scored that. It was like outside the 18-yard box, wasn't it? His finish last night.
Yeah. Well, it might have been just in, from what I remember. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but it was, lovely strike again. He's
Mm-hmm.
very like, you look at him and you think he's so slight. Like, how is he able to get around this? But he's just got this way of finding pockets of space, and he's not scared of like getting tackled. Like, he's fairly strong for his age as well. But then I saw that picture where he was stood next to Sir Alex Ferguson. He posted that picture on Instagram of the two of them together. And he was taller than I thought he was. Like I think he was about the same size as Fergie. Fergie's not a giant by any stretch of the imagination, but I just thought he was like, he's a lot bigger than what I thought he was. So, as we said before, if he's going to make his debut, it will be in the FA Cup. Will Ruben give him his debut against Brighton to try and lift the crowd? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it's the perfect opportunity just to get him in there, just to put him on the bench and just. You've got to say the likes of Shea Lacey are 18 months, 2 years ahead of him, aren't you? So it'd be very cruel on the likes of Shea Lacey to put JJ Gabriel. Go, oh, look at this kid, because Shea Lacey got. I've waited for my opportunity. So you've got to say, I'd like to see Lacey get his opportunity before JJ Gabriel. But he's coming, this kid. He is. And I don't like to overstate out what players like, who compare them and things like that. But if you remember Neymar and how good Neymar was, this lad's got the similar build, similar the way he plays football, creativity, dribbling ability, both feet. Been at the club since he was 8. He's going to be a superstar, isn't he? Well, I just hope that that's in a Manchester United shirt. I really do. It's interesting enough. He plays off the left, but I've noticed more he's drifting into the middle a lot more now instead of being like an out-and-out winger.
He scored that goal last night from the right-hand side as he drifted into the middle. So,
I noticed that a lot in the youth team, but they don't play within the same system, the youth teams, which frustrates the life out of me. I don't understand why.
I mean, that's a
stupid.
It's
It's
podcast
damning.
for another time.
Yeah, it's damning,
is.
isn't it? But he's going to come to this kid, and he will fly, and he will go. There's no ceiling to where he is. But we've got, like I said a few times, we've got 5 or 6 of them kids that are that good. But he's the star of the lot of them.
He is. I've got one more from Leighton on Blue Sky, and he says, "Can we all admit that a back five is," and he's put a swear word in here, "we haven't kept a clean sheet since beating Sunderland 2-0 on October 4th, conceded 11 in that time, including against Wolves, who hadn't scored in 542 minutes." I'll let you answer that one, mate.
I know a lot of people hate the system, don't they? A lot of people hate the back five. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I don't see why you can't do that. I don't. I think now you'll see Martinez in this back three, if you like. You'll see a bigger upgrade in the defensive abilities. I just don't think the defenders defend well enough, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of miscommunication. There's not a lot of willing to die for a clean sheet. There's not enough of that. And I think when Delit's missing, you see that. I'm hoping for more clean sheets now that Martinez is there.
I think from my point of view, like, can we all admit that a back five is, and he's put a word beginning with S there.
Not great.
I think it's, I've never liked this formation, ever. I don't think it works. And I think when you talk about, I don't think it's made for defending. I think it's made for counter-attacking. I don't think it's designed to make sure that we're really strong at the back. I think that comes from your 3 central midfielders and whoever's playing the defensive midfield position. Sorry, your 3 centre-backs and whoever's playing the defensive midfield position. That's where that comes from. When you talk about stability, we're set up for counter-attack, and in that respect, this formation does do counter-attacking well. But I don't like 5 at the back. I just don't like it. We talked last week. You were saying, Brian Giggs was what made you fall in love with wingers and the way that you used to just dribble up and down the pitch. It's why we all fell in love with wingers, because Manchester United used to have the best ones. So that's why it's difficult for me as an older Manchester United fan to look at this new formation and go, is this decent? Is this good? Because no, I can't see the benefit of it. So I'm not having it.
I know it's a massive shout, but older people, like 40-year-old like us, will remember it, and people older will even remember it as well. When Cruyff went into Barcelona, when Cruyff went in there and said, right, we're playing 3-4-3, and completely changed everything, and he changed the whole club, and that's what they went to. This is why I'm not completely against the 3-4-3.
But the thing
whatever
is,
it is.
So the thing is, like, and I know this is, again, sounds like an old man shouting at technology, but when that was happening with Cruyff going in there, the only means of being able to see if fans were with it or against it was on the terraces, or you'd read a column in a fanzine, or you'd see some news reports and they're being interviewed outside the stadium where they would voice their opinions. Now, every single action that happens on the pitch is analysed to like microscopic degrees, to the point where it does have an effect. You can't just say, oh, we're going to go in and we're going to change all of this, because everyone's suddenly got an opinion that they can voice out there. Not only that, they can say it directly to a player. Do you know what I mean? You're playing terribly in this 3-5-2, whatever it is. You're playing bad. You're doing this. You're doing that. And I think that, as much as they talk about, like, you just got to drown out the noise and we just got to do our jobs, I don't think that's even possible anymore. I don't think that Cruyff style of going in there and saying, this is how we're changing things up now and this is how we're going to do it. There's too many mitigating circumstances around it now. There's too many outside factors that contribute to you thinking this isn't right. Because the internet's perfect for, if you want to find an answer that chimes with what you think, you can find it. Do you know what I mean? We're not going online to go, a lot of people don't go online and go, for example, will a cheeseburger make me fat if I have this cheeseburger? Say you want to go on a diet. You will look for how healthy is a cheeseburger on my diet. And the first answer might be, it's dreadful. It's not part of a healthy diet. But if you keep scrolling through the pages or on social media, or you ask ChatGPT, if you keep asking and asking, eventually it will come to the point where it goes, oh, it's really healthy for your diet. It's fine. As long as you just do this, it's fine. And that's the same with like these players going out there and going, I don't want to play this formation. I'm going to do a vibe check. What do people think about this formation? What do people think about Ruben Amorim? And that's why you get the idiots like clicking like on stuff that criticizes him. Do you know what I mean? And I think while all of that, I've gone off on a tangent here, but while all of that outside noise is coming in, it's hard to concentrate on what you're actually doing on the pitch. So changing the formation, when you've got doubts, you can go and find other people that agree with you. And I'm sorry that I ranted, but I needed to get it out
You
there.
went. I just let you go. I'm more of, like I said, I'm not completely against it. I've just been looking up. Tuchel's played it. Conte played it successfully. I think the thing what they had is they had the right players to do it. I don't think we've got the right players to do it. And when you do get the right players to do it, and you've got a first team, especially that can play how Ruben wants, because it's not really a 5 at the back, is it? Dallow's playing as like a 10. He's the most furthest forward up. De Ligt was going and pushing as a 6. So then, like we said a few times, it goes into a 4 at the back sometimes. It's such a fluid formation, and you need every single person to understand it fully for it to work properly. And they don't. They simply don't, or they're not good enough to do it. They're not switched on, or they're not good enough to do it. So to say that the 5 at the back is not very good, as he said, no, I can't agree with that, because I've seen it work. I know it works. And I think what Ruben is trying to do is he's trying to revolutionise it. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure they know how to do it. And that's going to take a lot of time and more players. Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. I'm going to try and end on a positive note here, because we are at the end of the podcast. But I thought I'd do a little quiz with you, mate.
You love a quiz at 6 in the morning, don't you?
Just,
you love it.
I know. Just a little bit of fun. It's not even a quiz. There's nothing bad about this. But anyway, so Benjamin Sesko has been out for a while. Could feature against Bournemouth. He's more likely to feature, I think, in the following game. I think that's against Villa. Maybe against Aston Villa away. But I thought I'd do a little test to see how hot you are on the Slovenian. Just basically to see if you a little temperature check on are you still feeling him? All right. So, and you've probably seen this before, but I want you to stay silent until you hear the name of a Premier League striker that you would swap him for right now. Okay. Right. Are you ready? So let's start. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No, there's a little shake of the head there. He's not having that one. Victor Gyökeres. Oh, he's not having that one either. Nope. What about Danny Welbeck? No. Still say. Oh! I heard something then. Supposed to stay silent. Chelsea's João Pedro.
Yeah. I like João Pedro. Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, I do.
Sesko's gone.
Right. I do like João Pedro. He's a good player.
He's gone.
He's proven. Sorry. Yeah, João Pedro. I like him. Good ball player.
Fair enough. Do you want me to finish off the other ones that I was going to mention?
Yes.
Because there was 2 more names, and I thought you was going to say you was gonna say that
Okay.
you're swapping for. So I gone with Nick Watanabe from Newcastle.
Yeah.
You wasn't having him.
Yeah. Terrible
then I
fashion
thought-
sense.
Yeah, but then I thought Jean-Philippe Mateta might be the
Oh,
one.
yeah,
that
that'd have got me. That would have got me.
might,
Yeah.
might have got you.
Yeah.
The other two on that list was Alexander Isak.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a
And-
swapped him. He's been rubbish.
Yeah, I know, and clearly the best striker in the Premier League right now, Erling Haaland. So
Yeah.
there
Yes.
we go. But you stopped at João Pedro, which was a surprise to me, mate. But you know,
Okay.
there
No,
we go.
I do rate João Pedro. I was pretty gutted when Chelsea signed him, to be honest.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Well, there we go. That's the end of the podcast. Well done, mate. You
Well done,
you
pal.
don't win any prizes because it wasn't there's no prizes to be won. It was just say that you want to move this player on for this one. If you want to sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media, we're back on Blue Sky, by the way, which is Twitter before it got messy. Go to fergiesgumpodcast.com. You'll find all of our links there. The newsletter is free and it's out weekly. So you can get player ratings and you can get a bit more articles, a few more articles that are more in depth. That's what I meant to say. But we will talk to you again after. Oh, no, we won't talk to you again after. We'll talk to you again. No, we will. We'll talk to you after the
He's
Bournemouth
gone.
game.
His head's gone.
Mate, honestly, the time difference, everything, I don't know what's going on anymore. But we'll definitely talk to you again after the Bournemouth game. Thanks for listening.
Up the Gummers.